Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Deron Harris. This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Thank you for joining me this week. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, man. Listen, check this out. I got a quick question for everybody. Do you know someone who is racist? Listen, I'll do you one better. Are you a racist? Are you a racist? Now, stick with me here. If you are, have you ever wondered how you got that way? Have you ever wondered, sat down and thought to yourself, well, damn, how did I start feeling this way? You know, was it spontaneous? Was it something, somebody who introduced you to it? Was it your parents? Church, Fox News? I mean, who was it that made you racist? What was it? What was the defining moment? What was it? Do you know what the events that took place that led to you being this bigoted asshole? Do you know? Do you even care? Have you ever wondered if you could stop being that way? Well, that's what I'm talking about today on my show. So buckle your seatbelts because it's, you might want to actually get a pen and a piece of paper because it is kind of like a lesson, because it was a lesson for me. It really kind of broke itself down like math, like mathematical equations. There's a bunch of mathematical equations, or so to speak, that lead to these type things. And you would be surprised at the combinations of things that people don't even know that they're being subjected to on purposely, no doubt, on a daily basis. So that's what I'm talking about today on the podcast. But first, like I said, I'm going to do this every week. I do it every week. I'm checking everybody's mental health because it's getting hairy out here, folks. It really is. And this is one of the reasons that I really want to continue down this path. I didn't want to talk a lot about politics. I didn't want to talk a lot about racism all the time. I want to do more like a current events podcast, or popular culture or whatever. That's the podcast that I really wanted to talk about Beyonce and all that kind of stuff. But I guess that just doesn't serve anybody. I mean, not for real anyway. I mean, it's fucked up that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beefing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, it's not that important. It just isn't that important. It doesn't affect my life like directly. So all of these things, everything that I talk about week in and week out, are things that directly affect our lives. You know what I'm saying? Things that could reach out and touch us. Things that could happen to us, without us even having time to prepare for it. So that's why I talk so much about race and politics and, the social climate all the time, because I want everybody to be informed. I want everybody to have the knowledge. I want everybody to internalize what is happening in our society today. It's not pretty, and I don't know how we are going to make it through this. I really don't. I'm having problems trying to figure out how we're going to make it through this, and I know a lot of people out there are as well. I mean, I don't sleep. I have insomnia, so I don't sleep, especially in times I'm in this hyper-vigilant state, as I know a lot of people are, and that's bad. It wears down on your heart and a lot of different things physically on you, and especially your mind. So I want to encourage everybody out there to don't do yourself the disservice if you are having some mental stress or some mental anxiety, any of that. If you're feeling depressed, Please go out there and get you some help. It is out there. People are willing to help you, every day, every single day. I have an appointment tomorrow, with my therapist. And, those are times that I look forward to because it helps me work through a lot of the mental stress and pain that I go through on a regular basis. And regardless of what people will lead you to believe, mental stress and mental pain are very, very real. They are very real ailments, very, very real. Don't let people, who these alpha people that claim to have no mental issues fool you. Don't let those people fool you into believing that, mental issues are for weak people. Because mental illness does not discriminate, okay? Doesn't care who you are. All right, so I'm going to take a quick, fast break, and when I come back, we are going to figure out how you got to be a racist. I'm Deron Harris. I'll be right back.
The podcast playground. Hooray!
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey, folks, what's good? Welcome back. We are talking about how you got to be a racist. And, what the fuck happened? How did this happen to me? How did I become a fucking racist? Well, believe it or not, you got there through a series of carefully crafted equations. There's a bunch of equations that, and stick with me because it's really, really, to me they are. I don't know about anybody else, but to me it's really fascinating how these things kind of correlate to make you into who you are. And this is on a lot of different levels. Okay, not just racism, a lot of different levels. But we're gonna tackle racism today, and like I said, there's a series of equations. So the first equation is not like a traditional equation. There's no numbers involved. Okay, first and foremost, there are no numbers in any of these equations. But what it is emotions and ideologies and different. Let me just go ahead and start breaking it down. So the first one is fear plus ignorance. Okay. Does anybody know what the answer to that equation is? I'll give you a couple of seconds for you to try to figure out what does fear plus ignorance equal? Well, fear plus ignorance equals prejudice. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. When people don't understand other people and they don't feel other people, how they move in life. When they don't get other people, people feel threatened. They start to feel threatened. They start to literally, physically feel threatened by things that they don't understand. And what do when they feel threatened? They start filling in the gaps with like bullshit, like stereotypes and suspicions over all kinds of other things. And they make up shit. In order to make themselves feel safe or to rationalize what they're afraid of. You feel me? That's the first equation. So fear plus ignorance equals prejudice. Write these down if you want. All right? Fear plus ignorance equals prejudice. All right? Number 2 is insecurity plus belonging equals what? Some of these you might be able to figure out yourselves. But I get it. Insecurity plus belonging equals tribalism. Okay? Like when people feel powerless, okay, or they feel helpless or like unseen, small, when they just you don't matter. When they feel like that, sometimes people have a tendency to join or cling to groups that make them feel powerful. They'll go join a group of people that make them feel like they have purpose. Even if that group builds unity by hating others. Feel me? See where I'm going with this? And that's just number 2. This is how you became the racist cocksucking slag that you are. Okay? I bet you that makes you angry, right? For me to call you that makes you angry. But you know what? Anger plus blame equals scapegoating. Okay? Anger plus blame equals scapegoating. Okay? Instead of facing hard truths, all right? Instead of turning in on the truths that make up our society, they channel like their frustrations into blame. They want to blame minorities. They want to blame people that look like me or people that don't look like them. You know what I'm saying? So how do we get this out here, though? Well, that's number 4. Number 4 is propaganda plus repetition equals what? Anyone, class? Anyone? Propaganda plus repetition equals normalized hate. Okay? The more you hear something, right? The more you can't unring a bell. So the more you hear something, Obama wasn't born in America. The more you hear something and then over and over again, the more you have a tendency to believe it. The more it feels like the truth. Just because everybody's saying it. But just because everybody's saying it doesn't mean that it's the truth. But you'll believe it's the truth if people say it enough, especially when it reinforces your fear or your resentment against a particular group of people. No bullshit. So propaganda plus repetition equals normalized hate. Okay? Now, here's where it starts to, it starts to really take hold. Number 5, because this is what makes people sit up and pay attention, is economic stress plus political manipulation equals what? Come on now. I know you can do this. Economic stress plus political manipulation. What does that equal? It equals division. That is what divides us. Economic stress plus political manipulation divides us. Because when times are hard, everybody's fucking feeling it in the pockets. Politician, like every politician, both sides. Okay? It's both sides. All right? Politicians, or let's just call them the information organization agencies or the media, they weaponize the shit that you're afraid of. And they turn people struggling like me and you struggling too, I'm struggling, they turn us against each other. We are both struggling. We are down here in the same fucking boat. Looking right here, sitting right next to each other. I got one paddle in my hand and you got the other paddle in your hand. And we ain't making no money for it. And the people who ain't got no paddles in their hands are making us believe that the other side isn't paddling as much as the other side. Trying to get everybody else to believe it. It's stupid. So, number 6 is pride plus ignorance equals what? Pride plus ignorance equals supremacy. Okay? A fragile sense of superiority that often hides a lot of insecurity. When I'm better than everyone. Well, are you? Because it seems like you got to tell everybody that it's like that alpha male shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out here, I'm this alpha male, man. I'm an alpha male. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're just a guy. You're a guy with a superiority complex. You think you're better than people because you're a dumbass. When pride meets ignorance, it breeds entitlement and dominance. Okay? You're not alpha. You're a dumbass with anger issues is what you are. Okay? Number 7. Because you're a dumbass with anger issues, I bet you spend a whole lot of time by your fucking self, which leads me to the next one, which is isolation plus echo chambers equals what? Come on, I know you could get this, y'all. I know you could do it. I know you can do it. Isolation plus echo chambers equals radicalization. Okay? By your fucking self, sitting there in your fucking room, polishing your AR-15, going through all this fucking shit. Because you won't step the fuck outside and make fucking friends. What a dumbass. When people interact with people who feel the same way they do, they have a tendency to, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man? Fucking yeah, we're the best. Yeah, we are the best, aren't we? We are the best. They harden each other's resolve, man. They turn on the extreme. They get to be these extreme fucking, I don't know, Proud Boys or Oath Keepers or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. Because all they're doing is sitting there telling themselves how great they are amongst themselves. They don't need the world's validation because I can tell you right now, brother, that you're the best. You're better than everybody out there. No, you're not. We're actually all the same. We're actually the same. Simple as that. And if you don't believe it, I invite you to watch a lot of the internet videos out there of people thinking that they're more supreme and getting the fucking shit knocked out of them for thinking that they're supreme. They're not. They're regular people. They're not alpha males. They're none of this. They're none of it. Okay? The next equation is number 8, which is shame plus denial equals projection. Now, instead of fucking turning the mirror in on your fucking selves, you have a tendency to project themselves out onto other people. Like, you're a racist. You've said some racist shit. But if somebody calls you out on your racism, you immediately turn around and tell them that they're racist for calling you out on your racism. You're a dumbass. You're a racist dumbass who doesn't want to be held accountable for being a racist dumbass. Okay? That's all that is. That's all that is. You just don't want to be accountable for being a hateful dumbass. And that's why you wear these masks over your face when you're marching out trying to be proud of the shit you represent. You're a racist. Number 9, fear plus authority equals obedience to hate. Now, when you're when you're scared and you meet somebody who promises you the world, hey man, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get rid of all these problems. And these people right here, man, they've been our problems for fucking, we're going to get rid of them. And you know what? We're all in it together and we're going to stand beside each other. That's when you lose your morality. You just say, you know what, man, that's great. I'm going to follow this guy. That's when you lose your morality, man. Your ability to think for your fucking self. You're a dumbass. You have forked over your whole ability to think for yourself to a group of people that really don't think at all. And the funny part about it is you fucking double down on it. You double down on it. You know what I'm saying? You get called out all the time and you just double down on it. You turn away like nobody even said shit to you. It's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. So that leads me to number 10. Okay? Silence plus indifference equals complicity. When there are people who mean well, there are people who don't have these frustrations. There are people who don't, necessarily harbor any kind of racial, hate one way or the other. Facts. I mean, there really are. Believe it or not, there are some people, who are, don't have any problem with, people of other races, but they don't say anything. They don't say anything. When good people say nothing, they actually help. They help hate spread without any resistance. Okay? When you're passive like that, it really kind of is participation at the same time. You feel me? You got to say something. If it's wrong, call it out for what it is. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Dracula. Okay? One thing that Dracula can't stand is the motherfucking light. The Prince of Darkness. He can run around here in the dark, do all kind of crazy shit. Suck your blood, you know what I'm saying? Beat your ass, all kind of shit. But you know what Dracula can't fuck with? The light. You got to treat racism and racists like Dracula. Okay? That's how you got to treat them. You got to treat racism, I'll say it again, racism, you got to treat they motherfucking ass like Count Dracula. Anytime they say some racist dumb shit, shine a light on their ass. Turn a light on their ass. Turn it right on their ass. Make them stand up in it. Make them stand. Don't covertly whisper it underneath your fucking breath. Stand up and say it with your whole fucking chest, you fucking moronic, racist dumbass. Don't be scared. Take the masks off. The fuck you scared about? The reason that you have masks on, by the way, the reason that you have masks on is because subliminally, deep down inside, you know that what you're doing is wrong. Period. So, while you sit there and you contend with that, I will go ahead and tell you there is good news for you. There is good news for you. All the shit that has been done to you, all the shit that you've been manipulated by, all that shit can be undone. All those equations, bing, 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 they put all these things together to turn you into who you are. And if you don't think they did, you're a fucking idiot. You're a dumbass. You're a fucking dumbass. But I'm gonna take a quick fast break, and when I come back, I'm gonna tell you guys how you can redeem yourselves from dumbassery. All right. This is the Deron Harris Podcast. I'll be right back.
The podcast playground. Hooray!
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
All right, y'all. I'm back. So, we've been talking about how you became a racist cocksucker. And before I went to break, I'll let you know that there was some good news. You don't have to stay that way. You don't have to stay a racist cocksucker. But before we move on, I'm going to recap how you got to be this racist cocksucker. All right? And it's like this. Fear plus ignorance equals prejudice. Insecurity plus belonging equals tribalism. Anger plus blame equals scapegoating. Propaganda plus repetition equals normalized hate. Economic stress plus political manipulation equals division. Pride plus ignorance equals supremacy. Isolation plus echo chambers equal radicalization. Shame plus denial equals projection. Fear plus authority equals obedience to hate. And silence plus indifference equals complicity. And that is how you become the racist cocksucker that you are. Okay? That's how you become that. That's how you become that. But like I said, there's good news. And I often wonder, because I know some of you do. Have you ever wondered how to not be this way? Have you ever wondered, how to not be racist? I mean, because last week I gave you a reason to not be racist because it's actually 100% bad for your health to be racist. It's killing you. It literally is killing you to be racist. So we are going to go through these equations on how and you might definitely, if you are racist, or you feel that you do have racist tendencies and you feel your ass slipping off into douchebaggery, here is some equations that you can use to help yourself anytime you feel any of those other equations creeping up on you. Okay? So the first one is, number one is curiosity plus exposure equals understanding. Okay? When people meet and listen to and learn about other people, a lot of the stereotypes that you have, a lot of the fears and insecurities, a lot of them go away. They go away because now you know, oh, well, shit, that ain't that bad. Damn right. Damn right, because somebody had the courage actually to ask. They weren't afraid. They were more curious than afraid. I just want to know, why do black people put hot sauce on every goddamn thing? The answer to that question is because it's fucking delicious. Simple as that. It's that simple. It's asking questions. It's doing the work, man. Number two is empathy plus accountability equals growth. Okay? It's not a crime to feel the pain of other people. You know what I'm saying? People that are not of your race. It's not a crime to feel that way. No, but you can take responsibility. You can take responsibility amongst you to say, you know what? I'm not that person, but I acknowledge that, and I'm gonna take ownership of what has happened. Not necessarily yourself personally, but I'm going to take ownership of what has happened to these people at the hands of, who I come from. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept how they could be upset about that. That's doing the work. You're growing. I'm going to accept that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take it as a personal strike. I'm not going to take it as them wanting revenge. I'm not going to take it as none of that. I'm going to take it as at what it is. This happened to these people at the hands of these people. No more, no less. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to internalize that and see how that has made this group of people into what they are today. What was our role in it? Because, ultimately, you're the one that can change it. You're the ones that can change it. Number three, but you can change it. The only way you can change it is by these two things right here. And that is education plus self-reflection. Okay? Do you know what that equals? That equals awareness. Okay? Learn the history, y'all. Learn actual history. It don't hurt you to learn it. You're not back there. Yes, it's painful. But learn it. Learn the systems. Learn the reason that the fucking hood exists. Learn the real reason behind why this condition exists for these people. And then turn it inwards. Okay? Look into yourself. And what that does is that turns your ignorance into insight. I'm saying you start figuring it out. Start figuring out, man, wait a minute now. That ain't really necessarily these people's fault, is it? And to admit that takes the next two. The next two, number 4, courage plus humility. Okay? Having courage and a little humility plus humility, that equals unlearning. And it takes bravery to admit when you were wrong. Absolutely. It takes bravery to step down off of that and say, you know what? I think that's bullshit. And it takes a lot of humility to let go of beliefs that made you feel powerful. But you start realizing that it's not really power, it's weakness. It's weakness masquerading as power. That's all it is. So, this is how you continue. Number 5 is community plus purpose equals belonging without hate. Get out of these groups, man. Get out of these groups that make you feel like, yeah, man, it's us against the world, man. Get away from that. Because that's what's doing it. Okay? That's exactly what's doing it. Get away from these groups. You know what I'm saying? Get away from groups that are not inclusive of everyone. Because that's really where it is. And if it's your church, then leave that church. It's not church. Okay? Just get out of that group. You know what I'm saying? If you live in a community, right, that has like a real identity, like Bedford-Stuyvesant for instance, right? Bed-Stuy. Listen, Bed-Stuy has an identity. Okay, and it's an identity that goes through everybody knows about this Stuy. You know what I'm saying? And the Stuy, for a long time, was considered to be one of the worst hoods in America. But it had community. It had purpose. There was identity there. Everybody knew, man. And everybody got behind that area. Bed-Stuy is one of the most coveted neighborhoods in New York City. One of the most coveted places in New York City. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because people love their neighborhood. And they love all their neighbors in it. Everybody's included. The Arabs on this store, in the corner store in this corner right here, to the Latins in the other corner store on the opposite corner. And the Dominican guy who has the restaurant in the middle of the block. And Miss Janet and her hair salon, and my man T with his tea shop, Bush Baby. You know what I'm saying? And everybody goes in there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes in there. Everybody is welcome in here. Everybody feels this neighborhood. The neighborhood feels everybody. It loves and nurtures everybody. Community plus purpose equals belonging without hate. Go outside, man. Stop looking at fucking Fox News. Get off your fucking computer, out of these fucking chat rooms that are really echo chambers. That's what they are. Go out. Talk to people. The next two. All right? This is the next two. Go out, because dialogue plus active listening equals what? This one might be a little difficult. Dialogue plus active listening equals what? If you talk to somebody while you listen to them at the same time. You talk and you listen. And they talk and they listen. What happens there? What happens there? Dialogue plus active listening equals humanization. Talking with people, not talking at people. That restores their humanity. And yours too. Okay? It's not hard. Got to do is say what's on your mind. I had a conversation. I actually talked about this on my podcast before with a guy. I was getting my car service, Thomas. We had a dialogue. He listened. I listened. We met in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of friends, that I consider these gentlemen to be my friends on social media. We started cussing each other out. My friend Brady, he's here in New York, where I am right now. We'll actually leave him. Got a week left. Boo-hoo. But he listened.
You're at Croton Road, Croton on Hudson, New York.
Damn it, Siri. Giving up my location. But my friend Brady, he listened. I didn't say nothing to that bitch. I didn't call that bitch. I didn't say nothing. Anyway. But my man Brady, he listened and I listened back. We both listened to each other. And not for nothing, we ended up having a good dialogue. We ended up having a good conversation. And now we still have good conversations. He's on one side, I might be on the other side, you know what I mean? Although as far as, my political affiliations go, I don't really like to even consider myself to be a Democrat, even though, I might vote democratically, because I just can't vote openly for racism. I just can't. And until the Republican Party can show me that they are not openly supporting racists, I won't be, even looking in that direction. So then there's that. So the next piece I want to go to is number 7. Number 7 is truth plus time. All right? What does that equal? And that one should be kind of simple. Truth plus time equals deprogramming. Okay? The lies that you have ingested, all right? All this propaganda, all of this, the untruths and stereotypes and, all of this stuff, it took years to put that in there. It took years to embed that into your brain. Okay? Honest information, if you get some honest information, it's going to take time. But it slowly does. It uproots them. It uproots all that stuff, all that fake belief, all those lies, everything, all of this. Honest information. Okay? Don't listen to a news outlet tell you about somebody's issue. Ask these people personally. Okay? Don't listen to Fox News tell you about these people, or don't listen to CNN tell you about these other people. Don't listen to them. Ask them directly. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay? Number 8 is mindfulness plus emotional regulation equals clarity. Okay? You got to learn some things, okay? And you got to learn to notice and manage your fear or your anger or the things that keep like hijacking you, or like your thought pattern, or manipulating you into thinking that these things are bad. That all of these things are bad. You got to get off of that, because that's ultimately one of the things that is jumping on you. You can't identify it. You're not managing your fear. You're not managing your anger. You're not curious. If you're afraid of something, ask. If you're angry about something, express your feelings, but be prepared for people to express theirs, and be willing to accept what they say. A lot of people just don't want to accept it. Oh, no, that's unacceptable. Well, it has to be acceptable, because while it may not be your reality, it's the reality of somebody else. And they have just as much right as you do. Period. Okay? Simple as that. Number 9, art. And people are like, what? Art. Okay? Stay with me. Art plus storytelling equals empathy activation. Okay, believe it or not, empathy does exist, and it is good. It's good for you. Films and books and music and comedy, they get past a lot of your defenses, okay? They get past a lot of that hard exterior, and they allow you to feel before you think. They allow you to feel before you think, okay? Feeling is very important, and a lot of people are told that feelings are bad, to shut their feelings off, don't feel this. That's bad. That's the bad part. Your feelings are important. Okay? Your feelings are important. Don't let anybody tell you that they're not. And number 10. Okay, this is the last one. This is how you're done being a douchebag. So, repair plus restorative action equals healing. Okay? Repair plus restorative action equals healing. Deprogramming doesn't end with the awareness. Okay, it continues through like many different acts that repair all of the harm and all of the damage that has been done. And what it does is it replaces all that stuff with trust. It builds trust between each other, and that's ultimately where we need to get to. We don't trust each other right now, and with good reason. But that's not to say that we cannot get to a place where we can have dialogue, we can sit down, we can compromise, and we can begin to build trust with each other. We cannot leave it to our politicians and politics. We can't leave it to our institutions of faith. They are failing us. It's up to grassroots, y'all. It's up to us in the streets. Hey, man, why are you so mad? What are you mad at? Who's telling you these things? Where are they getting these things from? Learn to ask tough questions, y'all, and learn to answer them as well. All right? So I think it's going to do it for this week's episode of the Deron Harris Podcast. Listen, man, you could do it if you want to. I mean, you don't have to be a racist douchebag. You don't have to be. You really don't. And it's a lot easier than it sounds. You know, and those are a lot of equations. But those are the ways that people can get themselves into things without really realizing, but also the ways that you can get yourselves out of it. You know what I'm saying? And if you've ever thought for one moment that, hey, man, this lifestyle isn't for me, then I implore you to go through that list, go through this podcast again and write these things down. Write them down. You know what I'm saying? And exercise these things. Practice these things. And you will be surprised at how your quality of life just skyrockets. When you cut yourself off from other people, you don't grow. When you cut yourself off, you don't grow. Okay? Think about it like that. When you cut yourself off, you don't grow. Don't cut yourself off. Okay? So, I want to thank my parents for giving me this mouthpiece. I want to thank my wife for just being super sexy and my best fan ever. I want to thank my producer, Jesse Yandel, for being, the man every single week. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for the platform. And last but not least, man, I want to thank all you racist cocksuckers out there. I'm kidding, man. But yeah, y'all too. I want to thank all of you. If you're a racist and you listen and you got this far, man, thanks. Thanks for giving me this. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to explain to you, you know what I mean, how you got the way that you are. Because now that you know, you can make necessary steps if you don't want to be this way anymore. You feel me? And ultimately, man, that's my goal, man, is to take all this fear and all this stress and all this pain away from people, man, so that we can all live, happily. So I could take care of my kids, so I could wave across the parking lot. Hey, John, how you doing, John? Everything all right? Yeah, Deron, it's good. It's good this week. Instead of looking over at you going, look at this motherfucker. And you looking at me going, look at this motherfucker. Because that's where we are now, folks. We don't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Go out and practice. Go out and practice that today, folks. Go out. Get curious. Ask questions. Come from a place of love. And I guarantee you will be pleasantly surprised. All right? So until next week, y'all, have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.